From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, August 29th. Another near normal afternoon. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Highs in the low 80s with very little humidity. There is a front that's going to dive in from the north the second half of the day. It's going to bring a chance for isolated to scattered showers. The better chance for rain will be in northern Indiana, though. This morning, shootings by police in Indianapolis are prompting new calls for the department to change its policies. News 8 went to a public town hall meeting last night at the Global Village Welcome Center. IMPD says they want to give people a better idea of their policies and procedures. The meeting comes within a week of police fatally shooting a man in the back while running from police and the death of a man known to have mental health episodes. The Community Resource District Council planned the event with Prosecutor's Office and IMPD. Police detailed their critical incident review process and the difference between the department investigation compared to a criminal investigation. Police say every officer must give a statement within 48 hours. This is not available for court proceedings.
You want to take every case and throw it in the same pot. Every case is separate, is individual. And we want to point a finger accusingly, and sometimes the police officers will really need to look at the policy that they're following. That's where it starts.
Many times we all keep saying, we need to trust the process, look at the process, here's our process. And I'm not really sure you haven't given us the reasons why we should trust the process. In the first place, because, look at this thing we're seeing on the projector here. It's so complicated. You yourself admitted that a person would need a doctor of some kind to decipher this. I definitely can't understand anything that I'm...
The Community Resource District Council is planning more community events. Organizers say the goal is to educate people on the policies in place, allow questions, and potentially create change from that. The Community Resource District Council holds virtual meetings on Zoom the last Monday of the month at 6 p.m. And we are getting new perspective on one of those deadly shootings. Officers shot Kendall Gilbert on the west side of the city Sunday night at the end of a weekend full of calls to the house. Viewer Rochelle Clark shared video with ITMate of some of the moments leading up to the gunfire. We have that posted on wishtv.com. The video shows Gilbert waving something. Clark says Gilbert had a machete, a long stick, and a knife. She says police tried to negotiate for hours as Gilbert kept telling them to make war with him. IMPD says Gilbert ran at officers with the machete. Witnesses say officers first fired beanbag rounds before they heard a gun.
A man who was clearly in the middle of a mental health crisis, shouting, taunting law enforcement. If they had hit him with a beanbag, taken him down non-lethally, he could have been in a facility getting the help that he clearly needed.
ITMate asked the mayor's office if it plans to expand mental health crisis units. In a statement, it says teams operate 8 to 6 Monday through Friday in all districts and 7 days a week downtown, and that the mayor aims to increase hours starting with a 24-hour schedule in the East District with the new budget. A woman is dead after an overnight shooting on the Near East Side of Indianapolis. It happened at about 9 last night on Rural Street near New York Street. IMPD thinks it started as some kind of disturbance, and then someone shot the woman as she was walking down the sidewalk. Medics took her to the hospital in critical condition, where she died. No word yet on any arrests. A second man now faces charges in a deadly mass shooting at a block party in Muncie. Police arrested Justin Bonner yesterday for criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. Authorities haven't released any other details about his role. John Vance Jr. is already charged with battery and criminal recklessness in the July shooting. At last check, he is still held in jail on a $105,000 bond. Police say the shooting killed Joseph Bonner and injured 18 others, including a woman who was run over by a car. No word if there's any relation between Joseph Bonner and Justin Bonner. State police report a stunning rise in shootings on central Indiana interstates from 9 reported in 2018 to 66 last year, and a similar pace this year. The most recent happened Sunday on I-465. State police report 39 investigations this year in Marion, Boone, Hamilton, Hancock, Hendricks, Johnson, and Shelby counties. Police say the shootings are often caused by road rage and say the way people use their horns can escalate the situation.
A horn is there for an emergency situation to let somebody know that you're there to bring attention to yourself. But when people use their horn in an aggressive, angry manner and oftentimes follow that horn with some words or some hand gestures, that leads to the violence that we're seeing.
Police say the person shot Sunday will survive. They are still searching for the shooter. And today, more charges may be coming for a Noblesville man recently convicted of attempted murder. Investigators say they're preparing a count of resisting law enforcement for Mark Wilburn after they say he became combative during a jail sweep Sunday in Boone County. Earlier this month, Wilburn was convicted of trying to kill his son-in-law. Police are asking for help finding a missing man. Michael Simpson is 36, 5'11", 185 pounds. Police say when he was last seen, it was Sunday near Washington and Sherman, and he was wearing a blue polo shirt, blue jeans, white tennis shoes, and a brown and black baseball cap. IMPD says Simpson may be in danger and needs medical help. If you spot him, police ask you call 911. The ACLU is suing the Indiana Department of Correction. It's over a law banning gender-affirming care for transgender women in prison. The ACLU filed the lawsuit in Evansville yesterday. It comes after a law went into effect in July, forcing the Department of Correction to deny gender-affirming care. The lawsuit claims the new law violates the 8th Amendment's prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. It also claims it violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. A federal jury has convicted a Switzerland County woman for her role in the January 6th insurrection. Nancy Barron is from Patriot. The jury found her guilty yesterday on 4 charges in connection to the attack, including disorderly conduct and picketing inside the Capitol. The FBI says it found multiple photos and videos of Barron in and outside the Capitol. She was not charged for any acts of violence. The judge in Barron's case has rejected her motions for a mistrial and acquittal. A Tennessee lawmaker can return to the floor after a one-day suspension imposed by his peers. Representative Justin Jones gained national attention in the spring as one of 3 Democrats expelled from the chamber for their roles in gun control protests. Republicans voted to impose a one-day ban on him yesterday. During a special session called in the aftermath of a deadly school shooting in Nashville, Jones was criticizing a bill when the speaker said Jones strayed off topic and ruled him out of order. Police are trying to figure out the motive for the killer in Monday's shooting at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The shooting left a faculty member dead and prompted a lockdown. It happened yesterday afternoon in a science lab in the heart of campus. Police arrested the suspect about 90 minutes later. Police haven't released the suspect's name nor the victims. They do report no other injuries. Classes at the Chapel Hill campus are canceled today. A new study is offering insight into the likelihood of shooting survivors becoming repeat victims of gun violence. It was published yesterday in the Annals of Internal Medicine. The study's findings are based on patient records from 4 Level 1 trauma hospitals in St. Louis from 2010 to 2019. It found that 1 in 4 victims will be shot again within a year. That jumps to 1 in 8 after 5 years and 1 in 6 after 8 years. The study also found that young black men in their mid-20s are most at risk, with 96% suffering a repeat shooting injury. Mark Meadows claims he was just doing his job when it comes to the actions that led to his indictment related to trying to overturn former President Donald Trump's 2020 election loss in Georgia. Meadows was serving as the White House chief of staff at the time. He made the claim during testimony yesterday. It's part of his argument that the case should be moved from state court to federal court. The district attorney says Meadows' actions were political and not performed as part of his official duties. The judge did not immediately rule. All 19 defendants in the Georgia case, including Trump and Meadows, are set to be arraigned next Wednesday. The federal trial against Trump is scheduled to begin March 4th of next year, the day before Super Tuesday. The federal judge denied a defense request yesterday to push the trial back until April 26th. The decision also sets the trial date about 2 months later than the date proposed by special counsel Jack Smith's team. And we are following breaking news here at Wish TV. Our Storm Track 8 meteorologists are watching Idalia closely. It became a hurricane overnight. Florida is now bracing for its mighty impact. The storm grew to hurricane strength just after 5 this morning. It's now on track to hit land tomorrow. Forecasters say it could be a Category 3, bringing 8 inches of rain and wind up to 129 miles an hour to Florida's west coast and panhandle. The state has activated more than 5,000 National Guard members. Parts of the state are still recovering from last year's Hurricane Ian. If Idalia follows its current course, it would be the first major storm to hit Florida this hurricane season. Members of Indiana Task Force 1 say the devastation from the Maui wildfires is unlike anything they've seen. The team returned home yesterday after spending nearly 2 weeks helping with search, rescue, and recovery. Members tell us hazardous material in the debris made the search more difficult. The leader explained the role the task force played in finding victims.
Once we had our dogs alert, we brought in anthropologists, and they were the ones that went through to determine if it was truly human remains there or if it was something else, and then they would process it from there.
In a farewell post, Task Force 1 calls the people of Hawaii incredible and closes with a traditional wish of good health. Hawaii's electric company calls a lawsuit from Maui County factually and legally irresponsible. As we've reported, the government blames Hawaiian Electric for starting the Lahaina fire. In a new statement, the utility company responds that its lines started a wildfire that day, but that firefighters declared it contained and left the scene. Then a second fire broke out and became the deadly blaze. Hawaiian Electric says it had de-energized its lines more than 6 hours before the second fire started. To the Colts, it's roster cut day. The team has until 4 this afternoon to trim the roster from 81 players to 53. Head coach Shane Steichen says his staff will make some tough decisions, like what to do with running back Jonathan Taylor. The Colts open the regular season at Lucas Oil Stadium against the Jacksonville Jaguars on September 10th. Former Indy 500 champ Simon Pagenaud is done for the season. In a new post on X, he confirms he will not return for the final 2 IndyCar races because of his violent crash last month at Mid-Ohio. Pagenaud writes that he's made progress since the crash and that, "I wish I could be out there driving my race car, but the accident was very violent and left me to focus on the task at hand, my health and recovery." Moe's Southwest Grill is closing 7 restaurants in central Indiana. The chain calls the move temporary, but does not say how long they may stay shut down. They are independently owned and operated stores in Fishers, Greenwood, Indianapolis, Lebanon, Muncie, Noblesville, and West Lafayette. The company says its Zionsville and Westfield restaurants will remain open. And to business headlines, American Airlines is receiving the largest fine ever for keeping passengers on delayed flights without giving them a chance to leave the plane. The federal government is fining American $4.1 million for dozens of instances. The department said its investigation revealed that from 2018 through 2021, American kept 43 domestic flights stuck on the ground for at least 3 hours without giving passengers the chance to deplane. Google Flights today is releasing a new feature that will help travelers better determine the right time to book. Rolling out this week, the company is debuting new insights that will leverage historical trend data that lets consumers see when prices have typically been lowest to their chosen destination on their selected dates. Amazon is raising its free shipping threshold for some customers. To qualify for free shipping, non-Prime members typically have to purchase an order totaling at least $25. The e-commerce giant has raised that minimum to $35. Amazon says it has more than 200 million Prime members across 25 countries, and the shifting goalposts for free shipping should drive more consumers to pay the roughly $140 annual fee to join its Prime service. Diesel prices have risen to their highest level since March and are showing no immediate signs of easing their upward trend. The cost of diesel is a hidden tax on all of the goods and services the consumer buys, as it's the fuel for farmers and truckers. It could drive up prices for holiday gifts. And Target has a new assortment of fall-themed products available in stores and on Target.com. Some of the other new products include a Good and Gather branded pumpkin spice cold brew and honey pumpkin goat cheese ravioli and favorite day pumpkin spice dipped sandwich cookies. And finally, I must mention, it took about a half hour to speak to the new co-owner of what will be Dream Palace Books and Coffee. It is opening in what was once Thirsty Scholar. It's the space that's been vacant there on the corner of 16th and Pennsylvania now for about 5 years. It's going to be a bookstore, a used bookstore, and a coffee shop with Tinker Coffee, bringing in a cafe manager with some food supplied by local restaurants. It's going to have kind of a used bookstore theme where you can donate books, you can give books and get a discount on buying some new used books. There will also be some higher-end books, some new books with a big focus on Midwest writers and authors. There are going to be events where these writers and authors come in and do readings, also some national writers as well. A very cool concept. I wrote an in-depth story on this. You can find it at wishtv.com. But again, Dream Palace, it is set for a soft opening next month with a grand opening right now scheduled tentatively for the first or third weekend in October. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.